you've started the recording, right?
It's being recorded.
Okay, let me see. There's something in the chat.
Oh, that
no,
was
there's
my
something.
auto thing, but I disabled it.
That was
Okay, no worries. No worries.
that was
Okay.
Ricky.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started then. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Tucson-Pima County Historical Commission Plans Review Subcommittee meeting of Thursday, November 14th, 2024, called to order at 1:01 p.m. And I will call roll. Terry Majewski is here. Jen Mulder.
Here.
Joel Ireland.
Oh,
Markham
dear.
is absent.
Yes.
Ricky Riojas
Here.
and Andrew Christopher.
Here.
Great, thank you. We have a quorum of 4. Item 2 is review and approval of the 11/5/2024 legal action report and meeting minutes. Could I have a motion to approve as submitted, please?
This is Ricky. I motion to approve as submitted.
Thank you. Who will second?
I'll second, Jan.
Thank you. Is there discussion? Okay, if not, I will call roll on this vote. Terry votes aye. Jan?
Aye.
Ricky?
Aye.
Andrew?
Aye.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Ireland is absent. Okay. Item 3 is historic preservation zone review cases, and we review these under UDC section 5.8/TSM 9-02.0.0 Historic District Design Guidelines and the revised Secretary of the Interior Standards and Guidelines. Case 3A is SD 0924-00095 at 911 North 6th Avenue. It's for a remodel and bathroom addition to an existing rear detached accessory structure. It's a full review in the West University Historic Preservation Zone. It's a contributing resource. I assume that the main building is a contributing resource, right?
Yes.
That is correct, Madam Chair.
Yeah, and we use the rehabilitation standards. Michael, would you like to give background, please?
Yes, Madam Chair. This project was presented to West University Historic Zone Advisory Board on Tuesday, October 15, 2024. The board reviewed the same materials that you are reviewing today, and West University recommended approval as presented, except that windows be clad wood and the downspout be metal. That was the only recommendation that West University put on this. Other than that, it was recommended for approval as presented. That will end staff comments
Okay.
on this.
Hmm?
That is my presentation on this, and I have requested the applicant that today let all applicants be very brief in their presentation.
Great. And who will be presenting today for this?
We will be. This is Bob Lanning and Stephen Curti here in our office.
Is it okay if we share our screen now?
Yeah,
Sure.
and Stephen, how do you spell your name?
Stephen with a PH, STEPHEN, and then Curti is CURTI.
Thank you. I just like to get it correct for the minutes. Thank you.
Okay, and it appears that the host has disabled screen sharing, so
Yeah, Michael?
I'm going to make Bob the co-host so you can be able to share your screen.
great.
You should be able to share your screen now.
Okay. Alrighty. Can you see the drawings now?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Hey, we've decided that we'll just skip over all the introductory part since it was kind of described in the description that Michael read. Michael Taku just read. So basically, this drawing right here is the site plan, and on the left-hand side towards the west is the existing, it's a historic garage that fronts an alley that runs to the north of this parcel. And we are proposing to turn a portion of the existing garage into an office and add a small addition to this existing structure back there. And where Stephen's pointing right now is the existing addition, or the proposed addition, I should say. So now we're going down a sheet, but basically we've got a sheet with elevations on it and also floor plan, existing and proposed floor plans. So you can see we're on the top left is the existing front of the existing garage facing the alley. And then just below that, you can see where we're proposing an addition off to the, it would be to the east of that. Now that addition, you won't see a whole lot of it from the alley on account of that dotted line represents the existing fence, which would remain that's out on the alley. Then here's looking at the opposite sides, the south elevation existing and proposed. And then going further over, there's the existing east elevation and the proposed east elevation where you can see the addition, the stuccoed addition in front of it.
And we are proposing a brick cap because the existing accessory structure is brick. And so the brick cap is a nod to the existing structure. And also the brick sills on the windows. But that's about it.
And West University, they had just asked us, what are the windows? And we said, they said we'd like them to be clad wood windows, and we had not stipulated what they were. So that's why that came up as an item on their recommendation and their motion. So that was item number 1, is just to stipulate what the windows are, and they would be clad wood windows. And then the downspout was the other item. They said, what is the material? And we had not stipulated that. So it's going
to be metal.
It's going to be metal. Yeah.
Okay, Michael, is that match what West University asked about?
It does, Madam Chair.
Okay, let's go ahead and have questions. Who would like to start?
This is Andrew. I can start.
Thank you.
Is there a reason you guys are doing a parapet roof instead of a cross gable on this? I don't see any parapet roofs on the contributing structure or from any of the pictures you provided of the development zone.
Yeah, the main reason is that we had some requirements for the addition, and the requirements for the addition, namely an entry into the place and a bathroom and that storage area, needed to be in the shape that they were on account of there's an existing sort of carport brick area. So we ended up with an addition which is kind of long and skinny, running north and south alongside the existing gable structure. And we couldn't really figure out a way to tie in a gable. The gable running perpendicular to this would end up being taller than the existing gable, just by virtue of the fact that it would be wider in the north-south direction. So it ended up being not very, it didn't seem like it was very compatible.
Yeah, we also considered a shed, just doing a simple like shed roof, but it would have to be really flat with a white roof, and it's just there's not much height to this structure, so like the white roof probably would have been visible from the alley, and it's just personally it kind of, I didn't want people to be looking at a white built up roof on top of this with a with an overhang around it.
Yeah, totally understood. Makes sense. Can you go to the elevations real quick? Yeah. The step up in the parapet, are you getting that from just context in the neighborhood of other structures? Or why does the step happen?
Yeah, I think it was to kind of give this entry and this little awning over the door you know, a little bit more height and breathing room. But I mean, it's kind of like it's like rather than just having a flat parapet, we'd have to raise, I think, the entire parapet for this awning. And I think we didn't want to raise the whole thing up. So we just did it at the awning. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. That's all I have. Thank you.
That's all you have. Okay, who'd like to go next?
This is Jan. No, Andrew kind of raised the issues I was curious about, so I don't have any other questions.
Okay, Ricky?
I don't have any other questions or any questions.
Okay, so if someone would like to make a motion, I assume we want to incorporate West University's concern or just reiterate those so that those get added, those are called out on the plans and that the windows are clad wood and the downspout is metal. Does everyone agree with that?
Mhm.
And I'm
Okay.
happy to do that if you want.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Jen.
In the matter of SD 0924-00095 at 911 North 6th Avenue, remodel and bathroom addition to an existing rear detached accessory structure, we recommend approval with the conditions that the windows be clad wood windows and that the downspouts be metal.
Okay, and who'll second?
I'll second.
Great. Is there discussion on the motion? If not, I'll go ahead and call roll. Terry votes aye. Jan?
Aye.
Andrew?
Aye.
Ricky?
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes 4-0, and I'm sure Bob and Steven, you know the next steps, or do you want Michael to go over them?
No, we got it.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that succinct presentation. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with the project.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, case 3B is SD 0724-00066 at 200 East Congress Street, Johnny Gibson's Market. It's a commercial tenant improvement, renovation of a vacant shell space into a mixed-use food hall extension of the Johnny Gibson's downtown market. Exterior work to include removal of existing steel security grills, new stucco paint colors, new fixed fabric awning from the northeast corner of 200 East Congress to the southwest corner of 11 South 6th Avenue, replacement windows and window supports, new opaque window film applied to 2 of the north elevation windows, new paint color and exterior awnings. This is a full review in the downtown Tucson National Historic District /RNA/IID. This is a contributing resource, and we use the rehabilitation standards. And Michael, would you give us some background and explain? So this is in the RNA-IID situation where we're reviewing for compatibility. Is that correct?
That would be correct, but I would like Maria, who has been working on this project, she's here with us. She can
Good.
give us
All right.
more background. Maria, are you available now?
Yes, I am.
Great. Thank you.
So yeah, Ms. Majeski, members of the PRS, this is in the Rio Nuevo area. And it's an overlay that is mandatory for projects that are within it. And yes, indeed, it's there's 2 designated contributors to the Downtown National Register. And the applicant is here to provide more details, but this project was reviewed by the Design Review Board on September 20th. And the DRB recommended approval to the PDST director. They were just requesting the applicant to provide pedestrian level lighting under the proposed awnings And also for the applicant to explore providing additional bike racks at the Johnny Gibson's existing entrance facing 6th Avenue. So that's all I have, Ms. Majewski, unless you have any questions.
Okay, so that was pedestrian level lighting under the awnings?
Correct.
And then it was, tell me what the second one, visual something?
The second condition they recommend is for the applicant to explore the provision of additional bike racks, bike parking on 6th Avenue by the Johnny Gibson's main entrance that we have today.
Okay, sounds good. All right, and who will be presenting on this case?
That will be me. My name is Armand Pena. I'm the architect for the projects.
And who are you with,
I'm
Armand?
with Corazon Architecture and Design.
Okay, I'm sorry, what was the name of the company?
It's Corazon. It's
Oh,
C-O-R.
Corazon, okay.
Yes. Mhm.
Corazon Architecture?
Architecture and Design.
Okay, very good. And can you share your presentation? Michael, have you given him permission to share?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Great.
You should be good to go.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you, Armand.
Okay. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay. So these two projects are actually under separate permits, but are being reviewed together for DRB and PRS approval. The first project is at 200 East Congress Street. It's at the corner of East Congress Street and 6th Ave. The second project is the existing Johnny Gibson's downtown market, and that's at 11 South 6th Ave. The two projects are actually going to function as one business. So as part of this proposal, we're proposing a communicating opening that would be 12 foot wide by 8 feet tall between the two buildings along their shared party wall. That's part of their building permits. We're also proposing a new 6 foot deep canopy that would be fixed fabric, and that would wrap the corner of both East Congress Street and extending down 6th Ave along the Johnny Gibson's facade. The canopy would be at the bottom elevation of the existing marquee in front of the Johnny Gibson's, just to keep some cohesion across the two buildings. Let's see, as we scroll down. We're also proposing the removal of the existing security grills at 200 East Congress Street. That project has sat vacant for a couple of years. And now with the new business that will be moving in, which would be a bodega and an extension of the Johnny Gibson's market area, we feel like that those come down. However, the existing windows are in pretty bad shape. And so we'd be proposing to replace those with matching storefront facades and replacing the plywood that supports them as well. And I have some photos that we can see. So as you can see, it just exposure to weather over the years has really worn them away. So we'd be looking to match the same dimensions, color, and shape of the windows. It would just switch from insulated glass to double pane, or I'm sorry, single pane to double pane. And we would also be proposing film be added to the north elevation. Scroll a little further. So the north elevation of 200 East Congress Street, these two windows, for the new proposed use, though it's bodega on the first floor, the building does contain a basement that we'd be proposing to have a speakeasy within. And so the stair to the speakeasy is behind these two pieces of glass, which is why we like to try and obscure vision from the street if possible. Other than that, we're just proposing unifying colors, very small changes from the existing colors. It's currently a white facade for Johnny Gibson's. We're proposing a slightly different shade of white, and then a deeper shade of red for the speed lines. The fabric canopy would also be a deep red, similar to the speed lines. And we'd be proposing updating the signage, but that would be under a separate signage permit.
Mm-hmm.
See, I believe that's all. And we just have some details of those windows. Yes. Yeah, I believe that is all at this time.
Okay, I have a question. So if Because DRB recommended these two other conditions, so show us where that would take place on those, the pedestrian lighting.
Sure thing.
and the
Yeah.
awning.
Yeah. So for the pedestrian lighting, my understanding was that that was due to just a desire to try and illuminate some of the sidewalk area under the awnings, just because with the awnings being 6 foot deep, with street lighting, those the sidewalks would be a little bit darker. So just to provide some type of illumination. And I believe they just referenced Rio Nuevo guidelines, which are a little sparse, but we'd be proposing 2 lines of string lights that would be kept, and they would be down shielded and kept within the fabric envelope of the fabric awning, just so that from the street presence, you don't actually see anything. It's only when you're underneath them that you could look up and see those cafe lights, and they would be shining down as well.
Okay, and then that is okay. So the image at the bottom of the screen is the main entrance, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, this is the main entrance to Johnny Gibson's.
Yeah, and where would the bike racks be?
So the bike racks, we have met with city reviewers to discuss locations for the bike racks. They are okay with them either at this corner closer to 200 East Congress Street, or there are some existing bike racks as well. They're not shown in this image, but they are in front of these garage doors on the southwest corner of Johnny Gibson's. We could look at potentially putting some in front of the other garage doors as well.
What is the sidewalk clearance if you add the bike racks over on that
Right.
the left side of
Yeah.
the
Yeah, so it comes out to just slightly over 8 feet with the bike rack included, as long as we run the bike racks parallel to the street, to 6th Ave.
Okay.
Do you know what they would look like? Would they be just pretty plain?
Yeah, we'd be proposing just U bike racks, just matching the existing standard for downtown.
Okay, all right. Let me ask other PRS members if they have questions who would like to begin.
This is Janet.
Ricky,
I just had one
go
other
ahead.
clarifying question about the bike racks. So are those, I can't remember the existing and then the proposed, then are they essentially aligned with the street trees along the curb or?
Yes, yeah, they are adjacent to the street trees.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Was that your only question?
Yeah, I think so. I think the other is just, looks like there's kind of a change of use and reconfiguration inside, but that's not really part of our review, but sounds like the
Right.
groceries being reduced and.
Okay. Andrew or Ricky?
I just have one more bike rack question. Are you removing at all what's already there, or you'd only be adding on to it? They're just asking you to provide more.
Yeah, we would only be looking to add on to it. Technically by zoning code, it's not required, but because the DRB did ask us to explore, that's why we have begun discussions with city reviewers to see if they would be open to us adding them, and they seem to be that that would be possible.
Okay. No, I don't have any other questions.
Okay, Andrew?
Yeah, on the storefront entry doors, the new ones, do you have any other elevation of that, or is that kind of all we're seeing is in these 2 shots?
I'm sorry, which storefront entry doors?
On the corner.
Oh, no, I don't have a face-on elevation, and those would actually remain as is. It's only the windows that would be replaced, and the radius sections. Here, let me go to the plan. Let's see. Yeah, so these radius sections actually would remain existing, just because that would be almost impossible to try and match with our current technology for double pane. This radius section on the north elevation of 200 East Congress, at some point in the past was broken, and it's currently made out of faceted glass that approximates a curve. And so there is one damaged pane in that section that we'd be looking to replace, and that's called out on the elevations as well.
Okay, and so the entry door is existing to remain?
Exactly, yeah. And the 2 side lights to each side would also be existing to remain.
Okay, And then last question on the west elevation. I think it's the center window. There appears something was modified with that opening over time. Do you have any idea what that was?
This area with the different colored granite below it.
Okay.
We're not aware of what happened, but yes, it's when the client took possession of this building, that had already been modified, and we don't have any record of when that happened.
Okay. Do you think you guys would be amenable to so they patched it with granite?
Yes. So adjacent to it is at pedestrian level, it's all granite cladding. I think that at some point maybe this also had been matching granite cladding and had been damaged, but they replaced it with, it's a similar speckle pattern, it's just a different color.
Okay. The inventory form listed as terrazzo, is that the case? It's kind
No,
of
I think the terrazzo was at the entry from the sidewalk area, and that has since been covered up.
okay, gotcha. Would you guys be amenable to there's another section too that's not showing here that was patched, like where an old door was on the right. Would you guys be amenable to like replacing those sections so they're a better match?
I can definitely reach out to the client. I believe that it's the building owner themselves that are going to be paying for the renovations to the facade. So I think that he would just have to speak with them, as he's only the tenant for the building.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just figure if you're doing the windows, it'd be the time to
Sure. Right. Yeah, no, I totally understand.
Okay, and then the new storefront windows, they're gonna be popped out from the facade like the originals were, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, we'll keep the same matching projection.
Cool. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, Andrew, why don't you go ahead and, I think everyone's weighed in. Why don't you go ahead and make the motion and mention what you just brought up as a recommendation?
Okay, so we don't need to add any of the DRB conditions probably, because I think that's more just related to Rio Nuevo overlay stuff.
I think that that's fine unless Maria wants us to add those in. Maria?
Ms. Majewski, members of the PRS, we don't need reaffirmation unless the PRS chooses to. But we already have that recommendation from the DRB.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't think we need to because it's nothing really that is gonna affect the historic review, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's okay in this case to not
Okay.
mention those again, but I think it was important on the previous case because of a different type of review.
So do we want to, so we want to make that a condition to replace the mismatched cladding then?
I think we should, if that's, I think that would look nice.
Okay. Yeah, let me grab the shoot, I don't have it in front of me. Do you guys know the case number?
Yeah, you can just mention, the, you know, the 200 East Congress Street, Johnny Gibson's Market. And then, right, isn't that okay, Michael? You can add that in there?
I put it in the comments, Andrew.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you. Okay. On the matter of SD 0724000066 at 200 East Congress Street, Johnny Gibson's Market, I recommend approval of the project as submitted with the following condition: that the existing mismatched portions of the exterior cladding, the west face, be replaced with matching material.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, is there any discussion of the motion? Okay, if not, I'll call roll. Terry votes aye. Andrew?
Aye.
Ricky?
Aye.
Jan?
Aye.
Great. So the recommendation passes 4-0. And Andrew, could you shoot that motion over?
Yeah, will do.
Yeah, and Michael, did you get Jan's motion?
Yeah,
Hers was pretty, yeah, hers
Yes,
was pretty
Madam
simple.
Chair.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, so it looks like we're okay on this one too. Any next steps that we need to know, Maria?
No, Ms. Majeski, at this point, we're gonna be requesting the applicant to revise the design package based on the feedback received by the DRB and the PRS. And then we'll be ready to prepare a decision notice for the PVSD director's review and signature.
Okay, great. All right, well, thank you very much, applicant.
Thank you very much.
Presenting. And good luck with the project.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Item 4 is public and institutional use in a development zone discussion. We don't have everyone here, so no report. Item 5 is task force on inclusivity report recommendations. 5A is discussion on best practices for naming of city and county owned physical assets. No report. Current issues for information discussion, which is item 6. 6A is minor reviews. Michael?
Yeah, Madam Chair. I know at the last meeting, Ricky had offered to help us to do some minor reviews. I have not been able to get in touch with her to do them. But Ricky, I still have you as my partner to do the next set of minor reviews, which I'll be reaching out to you. I have a ton of them, which are so many. So I don't know whether you want me to read all of them here or just say that there are many reviews that I will contact Ricky as needed.
Is that okay with you, Ricky?
Yeah, that's okay with me.
And you're going to be available?
Yes. The only time I won't be available is the 5th through the 7th of December. So,
Oh, no, it's going to be way before that.
oh yeah,
It's
I have
probably
time
going
next
to be
week.
next week. It's probably going to be next week.
Okay.
Thank you, Ricky.
Great. Item 6B is appeals.
We do not have any appeal at this point, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Hold on, changing my page. 6C, zoning violations.
We are still doing the same thing, getting Rick Sarate to help us with pending cases, and then we bring them to you. You have seen a couple of them these days, and I have about 2 or 3 of them that are ready to come your way. There was one that was in West University that the applicant did not show up. I'm following up on that, which was the 819 North Euclid, the Aggie House. I'm following up on that, and the applicant will definitely come before you, Madam Chair.
Okay. Item 6D is review process issues. Discussion, return to Zoom, not hybrid meeting format. Is that what you wanted to bring up, Michael?
Yes, Madam Chair, because for quite some time when we have been doing this hybrid thing, even when Jody was still here, we only had Jan or Ricky that were showing up. As far as the public is concerned, we have only had one member of the public, that is a capstone, to show up. So our thinking now is it okay if we can just do Zoom meeting, and then if need be for us to do an in-person meeting or a hybrid meeting, we can just agendize for that specific case instead of doing hybrid all the time where no person is showing up and is not having any great impact that we anticipated. And this
Right. Well, I have no objections.
Okay.
What about the rest of you? We'd have to vote on it officially.
Yes, we have to vote so that it becomes, this is inspired from, you remember when the city clerk also had this hybrid thing and nobody was showing up, the full commission has gone down to hybrid. And we are thinking we can do the same thing.
No, actually, it's only virtual now for the full commission.
Oh, sorry, yeah, it's virtual, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah. So does anyone have any objection? Does anyone want to keep it as hybrid?
No.
I'm gonna end up being via Zoom for the remainder of my time on plans review, so I don't want to weigh in on a vote that ultimately is I'm just gonna be on Zoom anyway.
Andrew and Jan?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm always going to be on Zoom. So,
Okay.
Yeah, this is Jan. I'm disappointed, but I think it's very realistic. And if Ricky's not going to be in person, I'm not going to be in person. So, I mean,
Yeah, and there could be a reason, and we can simply agendize that. Now, when we were told, Michael, if we wanted to have a hybrid full commission, we'd have to let them know a
Yeah.
couple months in advance. But I think we could be more nimble than that if
Oh,
we
yeah.
needed to.
In your case, if you want it, we meet this month, and if you want the next month or the next meeting to be hybrid, you just need to inform us, and we would do that.
so
Well,
we'd
yeah,
advertise it that way.
Yeah, and I think what we need to do is, because this is not an action item, these that we're discussing now, 6D, I think we agendize it appropriately for the next meeting right after approval of the minutes, just so we don't forget it, and then we vote on it so
Okay.
that after the next meeting, we can go virtual only, which will save you, because otherwise you have to set up in this conference room, right?
Yeah, that's correct, Madam Chair.
Yeah, and it just doesn't make sense. But again, I mean, rarely would we have an applicant that absolutely couldn't do Zoom. There have been a few cases, Michael, where I think there needs to be better education for applicants that before they present. Maybe we could work at some point on a cheat sheet. Some of them don't even know how to share a file or whatever. So it can be very painful
Yeah.
if they don't have any background. But I think, today's two cases there, the presenters were pros at doing this. They're used to it. It's not an issue. So,
And I
Yeah.
guess if we knew in advance too, that it's, a homeowner that's really not skilled or whatever, then maybe that's a reason to have a hybrid meeting, even if that means that only the applicant's in there, that at least we're not wasting time with them trying to get on Zoom.
yeah, and yeah.
Internally, we are already having that type of discussion. We're exploring all what is being discussed here, and we think that we are going to come up with something which will be good for the mom and pop who are here to present, because we don't want it to look like it's a thing only for professionals. So we have been having that kind.
Yeah, and I think that's an important thing. So we have to be careful. We have to find out how to best craft the motion so that we have the maximum flexibility. So you might want to ask, I don't know. I mean, Carla would know this over at boards and commissions. She could find out.
Yes.
Just so that we don't have to vote every time we change it. And that's what I think we have to do for the full commission.
Yes, I'm going to contact Carla to get the motion that was crafted for the full commission, so we can.
But we may want to change that because it might have the 2-month thing, but tell her what our goal is, to have a little bit more flexibility. But it's the same issue that they were experiencing that you're experiencing, with no need to set up if no one shows up. So I just don't want it to be, mess up how you're agendizing cases, right? So,
Yeah, we'll do.
okay.
Will do. Thank you. And then secondly, I just wanted to, all of us were at the commission the other day, that the hiring of the new HPO is going on, and the date has been extended to December 2nd. And again, just to reiterate that, if you know anybody or any way you can send the word out for more people to apply, that would be better. Those are the only two things that I heard.
Okay, does anyone else have anything they'd like to raise?
Are we really only having one meeting in December?
So far, as of now, yes.
Okay. And that agenda, we already know that it's gonna be full?
It will be full, and you may not like it. I need to discuss with Terry on that agenda. It is going to it's likely going to be a big agenda.
Okay,
We
so
do have
let's wait
cases.
till we get to the,
Because we have cases, Madam Chair, that are facing financial deadline. If they do not come before you, they will lose their finances. So the direction we are getting now is trying to get those cases come before you. In particular, we have the Cario Sosa House, which is going to come to you on that day. Ricky brought it up, and we are working hard to make it happen on that day. There are a couple of things that they need to do. We are recommending that they should, the applicants, and Ricky, you can pass this on. We need them to at least go to the Historic Landscape Subcommittee for all the landscape proposal that they are doing before they come to PRS, and and even before they go to DROB, because DROB has landscape architects that are really big on landscape issues. And so we want that so that it will be easy, not so that you don't go there on the 12th and they have to hold you back again. And I think Steve Grady is very good at getting those reviews done in a timely manner. So I think there is time now between now and December 12th that we're intending to schedule that project that Michael Becker or you can actually contact the chair and have that review done.
Okay, I'll talk to Michael and I can just email Steve about that, right? Or does it have to go through you?
Yeah.
no, it doesn't have to go through, no, but he needs to get the agenda and he sends it to me and I get it posted.
Okay.
So it's, you've got his email, right? stgrady@gmail.com. Okay.
Good to get him a heads up as soon as possible so he can schedule that.
Yeah, I'll send him an email as soon as we're off this meeting.
Yeah, and he had mentioned something maybe about it on yesterday on his update. But anyway, let's finish 6D and then we'll go on and get to future agenda items and discuss that a little bit more. So anyone else have a review process issue? Okay, if not, item 7 is summary of public comments. Were any received prior to the deadline?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, now we're on to future agenda items. So
for the December
how many we're looking at?
For the December 12th, at this point in time, I have the Malagro Hog Light, which will be coming to you. I have the Sosa Cario House that will be coming to you. And potentially, if you people will not yell at me, I have the Armory Park. They have gone to the Historic Landscape Subcommittee. They are going to Armory Park on the 19th. And so I'm thinking maybe they can come to you on the 12th. Those are the 3 that I am thinking about right now. There are many. And then the other thing too is West University is getting very antsy because PRS has not had a chance to get to their design guidelines. They were all over me at the meeting last time. So I'm thinking we can have them in December and January. But I know the direction the subcommittee had given me is that they want the design guidelines to be like a standalone item. So I need to discuss that more.
Okay, let me ask this. So what did you say about Armory Park, that they're going somewhere on the 19th but we're hearing it on the 12th?
That's my thinking. That's my thought process. If it will be possible, it will be entirely up to you.
Why would we hear it before HLS though?
No, that is why they have already gone to Historic Landscape Subcommittee.
Oh, okay. And then they just want to come to us on the 12th.
Yes, and then they are going to Armory Park. They had gone to Armory Park first time for the review, and Armory Park continued it. Armory Park is going to review it on November 19th.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and then they will, thinking they can come to you on the 12th.
Okay, and what is this Milagro case? What is that again?
Madam Chair, to be honest with you, at this point in time, I do not have any information on it. Maria, do you know what it is about? I've just been told that it should be on the agenda, so I don't know much about it.
Yeah, we don't have the details yet, Ms. Majeski, members of the PRS, but it's basically for the installation of a new Hawk crosswalk system on Oracle by the Milagro project.
And
Okay.
can that be a minor review or that needs to be a full review?
No, full review. It has federal funding and so it's part of the 106 review process, so it cannot be a minor review.
We've had these type, Andrew, before, and perhaps when you weren't on plans review, where you've got these big crosswalk, things and whatever happens with the intersections and stuff. So now I want to ask, now remind me again, because I haven't looked, is it Armory Park that wants their guidelines reviewed? They're the ones that are after you, or is it West University?
West University, at this point in time, Madam Chair, is West University.
Okay, so.
And I had sent it to the subcommittee members.
Yeah, has anyone looked at that? Do they compare the old text with the new? Is it using track changes and all that? Has anyone looked?
I didn't.
I
know we
looked at
did
it.
them.
The version I saw had comments from like everyone and they were all color coded, but there was like multiple versions of comments.
Yeah. There was some stuff that had been modified, some stuff that had been like typed and crossed out. So it looked like they were still actively modifying what was going to be changed.
Yeah,
Because there were some like points
what I
that said, like, we have to discuss this further.
Michael, can you resend? I think I missed that somehow.
Okay, I will resend.
Thank you. Sorry.
So are they
there's
pretty?
I
Go
see it.
ahead.
10-9, 10-29. I got it. Thanks.
Yeah, do they consider this version to be clean enough for a review version, or do they have a different one that we'll be reviewing?
Madam Chair, I just forwarded it as it was sent to you. If I need to go back to them, or if myself and Maria need to go back to them to clarify, we'll be more than happy to do that. I just forwarded it to you as sent to us.
Well, I mean, it's not so bad if there's a few things that they just want to discuss with us or whatever. Because in the past when I've done this, we were in a big room with lots of people from the advisory board, and it was a lengthy process. So I mean, the only thing we can do is, if there's a time we could all meet between now and the 12th and get it over with, rather than, because it's really tough to fit in one of these individual meetings. What if, you know what I mean? And I think it has to be a standalone, because the discussion will go likely over an hour.
Well, I guess the other question I have is if it sounds like they still have some crosstalk amongst themselves, and then they're pushing on us. I guess it seems reasonable to ask them to work out what they think they're coming from, and then we can review it.
No, based on what they said to us at the last meeting, they are finished. What they forwarded to you is their final version. They are finished. So if it is not good enough for you to be able to do the review, you can give me direction, and Maria will be able to take it back to them. According to them, they are done. They're no longer discussing it. That's why.
So are they deleting those comments that sound like they're still dialoguing and there's not necessarily a resolution?
Okay, we can get back to them on that.
Yeah, well, yes, ask them if the things that seem unresolved are waiting on our feedback, or if they still have more work to do. And if that version is reviewable, I think, what do you guys think? Do you want to move it, punt it to January, or do you want to try to fit it in sometime in December?
January is always so packed anyways.
Yeah.
But I do think it's reasonable to ask them to just sort it out, because there are, yes, we could decide, but they're closer to the resources and how they've been looking at them before.
Yeah, I think if they can get it back to us in a reasonable amount of time, scheduling something like, I don't know, the beginning of December, that's a set meeting, rather than trying to have 3 PRS meetings in January.
No, we wouldn't, yeah,
we
I mean, that would be too much.
Yeah.
We wouldn't.
Because this will be a special meeting anyway, just for this item. And I was just looking at the next WUNA meeting is December 5th, which is a Thursday at 6:30. So if we could review it at the normal PRS time on the 6th, then
What
that
six are you talking about, Andrew?
No, the
December.
6th is the Friday.
Yeah, our normal next PRS meeting is the
It's
12th.
the 12th,
The 12th.
Right.
but we weren't gonna have a meeting on the 26th, obviously, so it would have to be either 2 meetings the week of the 9th or one on the week of the 2nd.
I'm going
Right.
to be probably traveling on the week of the 2nd in our van, so unreachable.
And I'd really like you to be on that meeting. What about the week of the 9th or the 16th? Ooh, I hate to push it to that. No, the 16th is busy because I think that's the day of interviews for the
Yeah.
historic preservation officer.
I am moving the week of the 9th. So I can do like the 9th or the 10th, but probably not later in the week.
Jen, could you meet the 9th or 10th?
I think I could meet afternoon of the 9th or the 10th. Yeah.
What about you, Andrew?
I can do either the 9th or the 10th.
The 10th would be a little better for me, but I'll defer to Ricky since she's moving.
Yeah, we can do the 10th.
And so that you realize that we'll have 2 meetings that
So you
week.
mean to do a meeting on the 10th and do a meeting on the 12th?
We'd have to.
We're
Okay.
tough.
Okay.
But if it's just that would be really helpful.
That's contingent on West University taking this back and just dealing with their comments.
So you want them to just take out all those their comments and only leave
About
the
the side, is, resolve it one way or the other, and then we just know.
I mean, or they could say, Jan, that they want
Yeah,
more
They
feedback
want
from
it,
us.
yeah, they want us to, but it should be more explicit.
So and we're gonna need that, by, I would say we need a full week to look at that. So if they're not meeting till, I don't know how that's gonna work. What do you guys think?
I mean, they can always schedule an extra meeting like we are.
Yeah.
There you go. They're
Yeah.
in such a hurry. I mean, they're the ones that said they want us to look at it.
So they
Yeah,
can, they can set up a special meeting and go back and get all this in the way the format that you want, so that you can review, and then you can have your meeting on the 12th, on the 10th, to review their guidelines. If they submit to you 1 week before.
Yeah, and we do have, hold on just a second, I'm looking at. So Tuesday, let's see, Tuesday, what are we looking at? Tuesday, the 10th?
Yeah.
Okay, boy, I hope I don't have to leave that day. Okay, so, would we want to do it at our regular time?
I can do the regular time.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, and do it for 1 o'clock, and and Michael, they may want to meet in person if there's a whole bunch of them.
They just have one person who will represent them. They have Jim Clark, who's going to be their representative.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's good. Less craziness. Okay, let me get back here. Why am I not seeing you? There you are. Okay, all right, so then maybe meet Tuesday, West 1210 at 1 for West University.
And it will just be a one agenda item, right?
Yes. And if you wanted to vote at that meeting on the virtual, we could, if you're ready. But if,
I will.
Unless there's some issue with folks for the 12th, right?
I think I'll be in a car, but I can have my headphones in.
Okay, for the 12th?
Yeah.
All right, so we are in good shape then, as good as we can be, and then we won't meet again until January after the 12th, correct?
That's correct, Madam Chair.
Yeah, and I'm gonna need someone else to take that meeting because I don't think I can. I'm at a conference and I have some event that runs into, it'll be on like Eastern time and it'll run right into this. And I'm in charge of that event. So,
So
but
on the
we'll talk.
10th, so on the
Hmm?
10th, we have Terry, we have Andrew, we have Ricky
Mm-hmm. And Jan.
and Jen. Okay. And then on the 12th, we have Jen,
Yeah,
we have Andrew.
Yep.
Ricky, will you be there on the 12th?
Tentatively, yes.
And
Terry?
I'm likely to be there, but I have to, I'll let you know, but I pretty much count on me.
Okay.
Well,
Thanks.
Joel, do we need 3 for a quorum or 4 for a quorum?
3.
Oh, okay.
We need 3. Are we going to bring Savannah back on, Madam Chair?
Well, not until,
January?
well, we talked about, okay, our next meeting in December is the 11th. So we could, remember you and I talked about this, that we
Yeah.
could bring her back, but that's gonna really affect, if we can't have everybody there, then we'll go back to having
Yeah.
4. But we
Yeah.
let's coordinate on this because I need to ask her, because she couldn't come right back on in November because she has stuff to finish.
Finish, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll talk about it and maybe we can even do January.
yeah. So then she could potentially chair, Andrew could chair, somebody could chair if I can't be there on the
Yeah.
9th, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so if we're good, if no one has any questions, let's go ahead and adjourn at 1:58.
Whoa.
I know it's
New record.
crazy. Well, it was nice to have, yeah, nice to just have 2 today. But we'll have 2 big things in December. And Michael, when will you get back to us about West University's thing? Like, are you gonna reach out to them?
Maria or myself or both of us are going to reach out to them today. And I'm hoping no sooner than early next week, we should be able to get back to you.
And they should be happy because I think we'll, and we'll have to read this carefully and compare the changes. I remember one meeting we had where they actually brought in clad windows. That's when they approved the
Yeah.
change to clad windows. I don't know if that was Armory Park or West University, but it
No,
was
West University.
yeah, it was very interesting to see those things. And they had done some good homework. So, okay, well, thanks everyone, and we will see you next time. We adjourned at 1:58. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
thanks.
Bye. Oh, Michael, when do you anticipate, do we want to get this one done pretty quickly? The write-up?
Yeah, I should send it to you probably by tomorrow, no later than Monday.
That'd be good, and then